Welcome, welcome, welcome to Garnetqueentarot. How are my wonderful Taurus family doing today? How are you guys doing today? Now, before we get started, we got to practice our breathing. So, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Ooh, and shake it off. Taurus, how are you guys doing today? What's been going on? What's been happening in your life? And I'm sorry, I've been down. I had this cold that just has been going on for a few days. Got my head hurting, my throat sore. It's like, oh my gosh. I felt it coming. Didn't see it, but I felt it. So it's like, oh my goodness. So how have you guys been doing? We're in fall season now. Fall season already. Where did the summer go? It just came and went, didn't it? I hope you guys had a good time. Let's see what's in our message today. I get excited getting in y'all business all the time. Let's see, Taurus. We have unconditional love here today. Ooh. I hope you love it on you too, right? You got to. You're on a new path because it's like you're getting closer to your intuition. Your inner voice is speaking. You got serious plans for the future. Look at that. Change and transition. Things are changing in your life right now. Serious changes, major changes. You're tired of the status quo and you just want to see what possibilities are out there for you. You don't want to keep going down the same path. It's like you're looking at it as it being insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You're not satisfied with the way things are going in your life right now, so you're making significant changes. That's a big deal, and you're listening to your intuition. A lot of times you brush it off, but now you're starting to get more aligned, more in tune, and looking for that core that will drive you and be a strong force in your life. You're looking at things completely differently now. Something happened that kind of shook you, woke you up. You could have seen a crime. You could have had a breakup. It's just, you just think it's time. It's time for change. It's time to transition into the person you always wanted to be. And this is happening now. It's like the change in the season is also a change in your path. It's shaking you. It's something that just threw you off that you didn't expect. And it's a wake-up call. It could have been a death, anything. It's just something that just took you and shook you and made you see things completely different. You know how they got those little globe glass balls that they have where it has the scenery, it could be Christmas, anything inside of it, the glass balls, and you look in it and you just start shaking it, and it has the snow and sparkles and everything in there, and it just changed your life. It just changed your life. You said, we're going into 2025. I have to have a different plan because the plan that I've had seems to be the same thing. And I got to shake it up now because I've been shaken. So, it's you're looking for that stability that you didn't have before. And now it's a different time for you. I'm waiting for the right... Look at that. I'm waiting for the right time. This is the right time. This is your time. This is transitional change taking place. It's transformation. You can't fight it. It's something that's going to happen on your behalf. It's phenomenal change, but it's for better. And A lot of times people think they listen to their intuition. They don't listen. They act on emotion. You act sometimes on emotion as well, but this time, Taurus, you are digging deep down inside and you're looking at the big picture. You're backing up to look at the whole picture. You're in that realm, in that space right now, and you can foresee the possibilities. Before you were going through the motions, now there's intent. You're intentionally going after your dreams. You're putting everything else aside and recognizing the fact that, hey, I have not been on the path that I completely want to be on, but now with my determination and my intention, I'm going to achieve my goals and dreams. Not just talk about it, but be about it. And you're placing that action, that sweat equity, that determination, that fierce force into that movement so things can manifest in your life the way you want it to. Talk is cheap. And you're on an expensive route now because you know what? I want certain things, but I'm going to do it in a form or fashion where it's reasonable. I'm not trying to impress anybody else, but I want to do things for myself where I fulfill that joy. If you want to live on a boat out at the pier, that's what you're going to do. If you want to live in a high-rise building, that's what you're going to do. But no more just talking and hoping. You are putting that sweat equity in and making it manifest in your life because you are determined to achieve what needs to be achieved. You're looking at your life. You're looking at your age. You're looking at things changing. It's just a whole new concept for you where you're believing more in yourself and on your capabilities. You're questioning yourself. You're challenging yourself. You're looking back at what you missed out on. And now you're saying, with intention, with determination, I'm not in a rush, but I'm going to take my time to make these things happen in my life that I've been waiting for. Because you kept saying all the time, I'm waiting for the right time. This is the right time right now with no excuses. This is the right time. You said, I wasn't ready for anything like this, but you're ready now. You're ready now. You're looking at the value long term because time is escaping. And you realize that if you don't get in the ring now and fight your way through, you won't get through. You're looking for the right time? It has arrived. It has arrived. No excuses. None whatsoever. This is the time for you to succeed on the level you want to be on. No excuses. No procrastination. It's time is now. Look at your plan and follow it through. This is a whole different set for you right now. Because there was always somebody else to blame. There was always some blockage that you couldn't jump over that broom, jump over those hoops, face those challenges. Now there's none. The path is clear. The time is right. You need to do. And remember, doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result is insanity. So you have to change and alter and tweak as needed so that you could achieve what needs to be achieved. Don't blame anybody else. It's about you. It's about you and what you need to do to elevate to the level you want to be on. You're thinking about it. You're going through the motions, but now the application is being placed. This is a serious time for you. It's a serious time for you. You're not waiting anymore. And you're listening to that inner voice that's telling you, get up and get it done. No procrastination. Stop the excuses. Stop blaming everybody else. What are you doing to make it happen? There's nothing more important. You've even pulled yourself back from going out and partying and doing this and doing that. You're in a solemn, serious mode right now where, and this is a good thing because what you're doing now is like applying what needs to be applied for you to elevate to the next step, to the next level. There's always some kind of distraction, some factor that comes into play that throws you off. I'm telling you, everything is always going to be out there. The clubs are not going anywhere. The parties are not going anywhere. They're always going to be there. But you got to pick and choose your battles because you're on a determined path right now. You want to achieve certain things without distraction. You feel that you should have been further along in life, and now it's time to put that work in. You've been working all along toward it, but at a pace that, I'll get it done. Now there's intent. You have intent, determination, and you foresee the plan. You're listening to your intuition, and you're making those solemn, serious moves because you want to see results. It's great to talk about stuff, but when you about it and you acting on it, it's a whole different level for you right now. Nobody can sway you from your goals right now. There's no distractions. The challenges you face, you build up yourself to get over them. You've jumped over those hurdles, and you're staying on course because you have that experience now. And from every experience, there's a lesson plan involved. And you've been learning, you've been listening, you've been moving, you've been placing action behind your words. And now they're going to be coming into fruition because you're not going to be swayed easily. You're not going to be distracted. Your girls or your boys is not going to throw you off track because that's not what it's about for you right now. It's serious business. You want certain things for your life, and you're working toward it. And there's no shame in that because you know the game. You've learned from experience how to proceed forward. Listen to this. I'm aware I sabotaged our connection. This was old patterns and defenses. Do you hear what that message said? There's somebody that is on your team that's been hoping that you would change and become a team player and work together to get through and achieve what it is you want to achieve. And now you've changed everything. This is transformational change. You've changed everything because why? You're listening to that inner voice that's telling you, Taurus, let's try a different path. Let's do things a little bit differently. Let's follow through so we can get through. Follow through so you can get through. That's a big deal. And to come to the realization that the possibilities that you foresee can actually manifest and come into fruition the way you want it to with your intentional desires, with your intentional movement, it's going to happen for you. You're not looking at it as a game anymore. You now know the rules and you're starting to take action because this world can move on with or without us, right? So if we want something for ourselves and our inner voice is teaching us that we need to change the way we were doing things previously and not getting the results we wanted, now that you're determined, you're not going to allow yourself to be sabotaged. You're not going to sabotage yourself. That came out loud and clear. Think about it. It's somebody that's willing to work with you to get you through, that compliments you. And you may have overlooked them or didn't take them serious. But now that you've changed your mindset and you're placing action behind your words and your thoughts, things are starting to manifest in your favor. That's a big deal. I'm telling you, it's a big, big deal. And it took you a minute to come to this realization. It's like, I want this for myself. I need this for myself because I see myself in a different place. And that's a good thing. In a different place. In a different place. Ooh, I love that. In a completely different place. And you experience, because this was in reverse, right? So you've experienced through the devil the addictions. You may be addicted to something that was not beneficial to you. And this is in reverse. So you've been fighting to get through. Maybe you're a heavy drinker, a heavy smoker, or heavy cheater. You've done things that were against the grain, And now you're starting to transform and change so that you no longer have that addiction holding on to you and pulling you down. You're allowing yourself to breathe and to feel free and to hope again. Because it was like you're focused more on materialistic things, which were destroying you. There was destruction involved. Like we talked about the sabotage. You were sabotaging yourself. That's why you couldn't fulfill your dreams, because your head wasn't right. It wasn't clear. So now, because you're looking through a different lens, you're seeing things differently, and you're more hopeful, and you're determined to achieve those things. But those were the things that were holding you back from achieving what you needed to achieve. Materialistic things. I had to have this jewelry. I had to have this car. I had to have this or that. I had to date this type of person. Now it's like with you listening and manifesting, you're taking a whole different path. There's a whole new outlook on how you look at life, how you look at things, how you work towards achieving it, and the intention that is there without the distraction. You're not allowing others to block your blessings. This is serious to you right now. And it took a minute for you to get to this point in your life. You're going through the motions, but you weren't applying your truth. Now, so much is being revealed to you that you realize that time waits for no man. If you, or woman, if you are serious about achieving certain things, you're mapping out that plan now to achieve it. You're determined to stay on route, to stay on your path, to stay on your journey, to move forward. And you have learned through your experiences the steps that need to be tweaked, what you need to do so that you can elevate to be where you need to be. And you're not doing it for anyone else. You're doing it for yourself. You're following your intuition that has been speaking to you loud and clear, but somehow or some way, the words were blocked. You weren't open to receiving, and now you are. And that's a big difference in your life. And there's somebody that's been there waiting in the wings for you to flap them, for you to be able to say, you know what, I'm ready to get on this journey of purpose. I'm ready to do what needs to be done. I'm tired of talking smack. I'm going to talk the talk and walk the walk. This is a new day. This is a new time. And you remember what it was saying here? I'm waiting for the right time. This is the right time. Look how everything just falls in place when you start listening. You listen now to hear what is being said, to see what is being taught. Before you are listening to respond. Don't listen to respond. Listen to hear. It's a big difference. You know, some people could stare at you and look at you and you're talking, but they're so ready to tell you what they think and hear their own voices that they don't hear anything that you're saying. They block their own blessings because they have all the answers. When you listen to hear, you absorb the information that's being said to you and you respond accordingly. How could you be at the tip of your tongue ready to say something before the person even finishes speaking? That means you're not really listening to what they're saying. You're being triggered to respond, not triggered to hear. And that's the difference. Someone could be giving you good advice about something and a way to do something, but because you get in your own way, you want to tell them, well, I'm going to do it like this, so I don't care how your viewpoint is. This is how I'm going to do it. So you end up missing your blessings because you talk too dang much. You're a bull. You talk too dang much. And not all the time do you listen. So you miss the message. And then you end up taking this long journey because you want to do it your way, because you're bullheaded. You don't hear what was said to you. So many messages have been dropped for you. Mic drops, left and right. But when you are in your own zone and you think that your way is the only way, you hurt yourself because you miss the exit. You miss the message. And then when you realize you got to do a U-turn and come back and start all over again. But when you listen to hear what is being said, You're able to pick sense out of nonsense and learn from that experience. And that's the difference. You're not working on being bullheaded anymore. You're working on listening. Because what is it saying to you? The inner voice. The inner voice is telling you, you don't have all the answers. None of us have all the answers. But those who listen, they learn. Those who listen to respond miss the boat. And they have to swim back to shore and get on the boat again. Get on the path again. And this time they have to listen because the way they did it, it didn't work. Excuse me. It's a big difference. And you know what? You're going to celebrate, right? Because you got the Three of Cups coming at you. And it's time for celebration. It's time for you to acknowledge the fact that I'm on a different trend now. I'm trending upward because I'm climbing upward, because I'm going to elevate, and I'm going to listen so I can hear. I'm going to listen so I can learn. I'm going to manifest my dreams. I'm going to keep focused on what it is I'm aiming for, and I'm going to do it step by step, not missing any steps along the way. Because I'm in learning mode, transformational mode. I'm not going to sabotage myself by just running my mouth like a faucet and not listening to what is being taught to me. Unconditional love is what you're going to experience. Love for self, love for others, love for growth, love for possibilities. And you're going to keep climbing upward because your thought process is in a whole new realm right now. It's taking you to ultimate heights. Ultimate heights. And that's because you changed the way you travel. You're changing your ways on the journey because you have learned from the errors of your ways. That bullhead is starting to soften and realize there's still so much for me to learn. You'll take advice from elders. You're going to tweak things and do it your own way because you're going to listen to your intuition, to your inner voice. But you're listening, which is a difference. You're listening to hear what is being said so you can learn, rather than listening to respond so you can say what you want to say, get your point of view out, and not learn a damn thing. It's a whole different process now. Wisdom has come to you because you realize that your way is not the only way. And there may be situations, advice, and wisdom that comes to you that shows you, hey, you mean all I needed to do was do it a little bit like this and still customize it to my way of thinking, my way of doing things, but I need to get the basics? That's what listening does for you. It gives you the basics of people that have had that experience already, and they found an alternative route to take to make it easier to achieve their goals. When you have a dream and you don't act on it, you block yourself from receiving the blessings that were meant for you. That dream was placed inside of you, and your source put it there, not for you to ignore the people your source put in line to advise you so you could elevate. Now, you may come up with a different way and, alternative route while you're learning from the basics. And then you customize it and make it yours. But if you never want to hear anything anybody else has to say, and you have all the answers, and then you fail and you want to know why, you brought that on yourself. There are people placed on your path, our path, to help us to get to where we need to be. Let me tell you something. I'm a stickler. I like to take different routes until I find one that works for me. Like, I don't like to be stuck in traffic. That drives me crazy. So when I drive, I might turn down a street that I'm not familiar with. It may be a good street, a bad street, but it's a learning street. And then I sometimes learn shortcuts. My kids have always asked me, Mom, how did you know to get over here this way? Because people may call it getting lost. I don't call it getting lost. I call it learning. Because when you take a different route, you learn other ways to get to the same destination. Some work, some don't. But you got to test the waters. I'd rather test the waters and learn a new path than stay on the same path and be stuck, hoping that a breakthrough will come. You alter to fit into your life so it can work for you. You listen so you can learn. You try new things. You always hear people say, I didn't even know I could go that way. I didn't even know I could do that. Oh my goodness. Because if you stay stuck, that's where you'll be the rest of your life. But when you try new things, you learn new things, you explore, you see more of what this world has to offer, and you find out what works best for you. You may take a route that gets you stuck somewhere else. There's twists and turns. It's part of life. It's a journey. But now you're in the mode that you're willing to learn and explore so that you can arrive at your destination. I mean, think of it like this. If you're on a highway that you always take every day, and there's an accident on the highway, and you stuck in traffic, there's an exit coming up on the right. Now, some people say, no, I'm going to go. You're going to stay there for hours stuck in traffic. The lane is blocked, or they might put one lane. So you're not willing to get off that exit ramp and say, how can I still get to my destination, but try a different way? And sometimes you end up finding out that trying this way now is faster whether there's traffic or not, because you explored. You didn't limit yourself to one way of doing things. And bulls, you sometimes get set in your way of doing things, not realizing that you can try an alternative route that may help you to arrive at your destination faster. You're not cheating, you're exploring. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is, this path that you're willing to take now, and you're willing to listen so you could hear the voices, whether it's from ancestors, whether it's from your intuition, from a learning aspect, this is what's going to happen in your life. You're going to learn new things. You're traveling on a different course so that you can achieve the goals you've set for yourself with new instructions, with new directions, and a new level. Garnetqueentarot. Be inspired to rise, be inspired to learn, be inspired to listen and to hear. Because your path, that doorway, is opening wider than you ever anticipated. So keep moving forward. And even with that will, that determination, that courage, you're going to break through these boundaries and these limits and these walls. But you have to be willing to try new things, to explore, and to grow. Don't ever limit yourself. Explore and learn. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for sharing your message with us. It's important that we keep growing. When you're not growing, you're what? Think about it. Talk soon. Take care.